Now, the federal government, in collaboration with Public-Private Development Center, have echoed the need to create awareness on assessing digital rights, data protection, and privacy in Nigeria. This was made known during a roundtable discussion on data privacy and protection in Nigeria. Here is more details of this report from KAFTAN correspondent Mavis Ako.
With the rising state of digitalization in the economy, most especially the dependency of digital technology, which involves how we run our daily lives, a need has arisen to understand and safeguard digital rights, data protection, and privacy in Nigeria. Most importantly is promoting and safeguarding the rights of everyone in a way that it ensures that people's rights of access to information, access to express themselves, and access to digital platforms that grow the economy are protected. Recall also, the federal government recently launched a digital currency, e-Naira. Hence this roundtable discussion by federal government and stakeholders on data privacy and protection in Nigeria.
Nigeria has a total number of 104 regular internet users. I know what that means out of about 200 million people. For 104, that is over 50%, to go online every day to transfer businesses, put their information there, out there and do some other things. And this really calls for attention of all of us to ensure that we protect whatever we do online, protect the rights, the freedom, and the kind of data or information we put online. And that was why NIDA in 2019 issued the Nigerian Data Protection Regulation. That is the major regulation that we have of data protection in Nigeria as of today. And within 3 years, we get a lot of traction in terms of job creation, in terms of protecting the rights of citizens, in terms of audit filing, in terms of compelling organizations to comply to the provisions of the regulation. And that is what even led to the birth of the Bureau, which is, in any case, what is done globally, that you have a full-fledged institution that will provide the rights of citizens that are doing businesses online.
A lot of Nigerians are reported not to be aware of the consequences of sharing their personal data with data controllers, what rights exist, and how rights can be compromised and manipulated.
Going forward with e-service adoption and implementation in Nigeria, we have seen an increase in our data being collected through the driver's license registration process, through our passports, through linking of our national identification numbers with our SIM cards. And these services are being used by healthcare service providers. They're being used by mobile telecommunication companies. They're being used by government agencies, even private sector companies. And increasingly, this personal data is being expanded to include biometric data collection. So your fingerprints, your face ID, what those things that make you uniquely you are also being collected. Protecting our data rights implies that our data are kept private and they are not known. Somebody else cannot access my facial image or my fingerprint without proper authorization.
Furthermore, federal government and other stakeholders reiterate commitments to protecting the digital space for Nigerians by fully implementing a data privacy and protection law for the country, which is underway.
The trend globally now is for any country that is playing the digital space to have a full-fledged agency or institution or commission to be able to fully implement a data privacy and protection law for the country. And since we've started with the regulation, we are moving towards having a law that will make it an act of parliament for whatever you do online to adequately protect Nigeria. And that's why, in the wisdom of Mr. President, based on the recommendation of the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Patani, that this bureau was created. One, to ensure that the draft law that we have is pushed to the letter of passage before the end of the tenure of this government, and to ensure that we regulate what people do online in terms of how do we protect their information, how do we ensure their privacy, how do we ensure their freedom is guaranteed, whatever they do online. And companies, both in the private and private sector organizations, are expected to file the audit report to ensure that they comply with the provisions of the regulation.
If I ask you what's your right as a citizen of Nigeria, I'm sure you say freedom of press, access to information, right to privacy, right to gathering. We have all the different rights that the Constitution enunciates for us. But what are digital rights? The digital system has come to stay. We're not going backwards. We're not going to an analog. But now is the time to focus on educating citizens. We have the National Orientation Agency, whose purpose is to orient, educate. We need those kinds of agencies to begin to speak to us about what we should be aware of when signing documents. And these are things that government needs to clarify for us as citizens. Educate, enforce, because to ensure trust, for people to be aware that the government has their back, we need to see public accountability where digital rights violations have occurred. Those are some of the things government can do right now.
Concerns were raised as to why the NIN card, which doesn't display the NIN number, but the NIN number are requested for in most places. Also, while addressing the need to protect the digital space, much emphasis was placed on the awareness, which is key. From Abuja, Mavis Ako, KAFTAN TV News.